broadcasting live on Facebook and, of course, LinkedIn, which is about, that's what we're here to talk about this morning with Dawn Adlam from the Business. Good afternoon, Dawn. How are you?
Hi, thank you, Stephen. I'm great. Thank you for having me back today. Great to be here.
It's great. You've not been with us again this year, have you? But I know you've been with us before, but it's always good to catch up and see where we are and, to help the business owners out there and all of us actually to improve our visibility through the social media platform of LinkedIn. So it's looking forward to hearing what you've got to say today, Dawn. If you're with us for the first time listening to us on Lunch and Learn, we broadcast twice a week on a Monday and a Wednesday from 12 till 1. As I say, one LinkedIn, one Facebook and one Zoom. So if you have any questions for Dawn or myself, please do put them in the comments box. My colleague Pam is in the background. She'll just monitor any questions and we'll feed them through to me as we go through the Lunch and Learn. We'll be here for about 40 minutes. If you've been with us before, please do give us a like. If you've been with us more than once, perhaps a bit of love and share. I'm sure Dawn will tell us later on about sharing the improved visibility and helping those algorithms on these social media platforms to increase traction. So please do share this link. Tell others, colleagues, friends and family about these Lunch and Learns and how they can get involved. But for now, we're going to talk a bit more about LinkedIn and social media in general. But first of all, I just want to say, these Lunch and Learns, and I've been doing them for, we're just saying, over a year now. And it's been really good. We've talked to a whole range of business owners and professionals on how we can all improve our business. But what we always get from these is what I call BFOs, blinding flashes of the obvious. Because I think more often than not, we're being told what we already know or what we've heard before. But it's about having that discipline, isn't it, Dawn, to actually get on and put it into practice in our business. And I know that you often talk about discipline with social media because it is only going to get bigger. The world has moved, hasn't it? And I was listening to a webinar at the weekend with Brad Sugars, and he was saying how the world has almost moved forward a decade, but we haven't necessarily moved forward a decade in terms of our business practice and how we're promoting and marketing our business. There's still quite a bit of work to do there. And so, LinkedIn is only going to get bigger, isn't it, Dawn? And how we need to make the best use of that going forward. So it's great to hear what you've got to talk about today. There we are, got your screen on there. It's go far away, Dawn. I'm sure there'll be questions. I will have questions. Other people may well have questions for you, but it's great to have you with us.
Great, thank you very much. What I'd like to do is in the time we have in the 40 minutes is just try and add as much value as possible and maybe blinding flashes of the obvious and give you another way on how to use LinkedIn. So everything starts off with your profile. Without a doubt, the most important part of your whole profile is this bit here, the headline. So the headline is scanned first for keywords. So I say to people, think about what search terms your business would be found for. So you don't need to have your company name here. The company name is down in the experience section and on your company page. So the headline has to be keyworded. But more than that, because if you just have all your keywords in a bit of a shopping list, then no one really buys from a shopping list unless you're in the supermarket. So what I suggest to people is I call it a value sandwich. So you have your keywords. So clearly my keywords are LinkedIn training, but I also have the word workshops and I also have the word coaching. So if anyone should use the advanced search to search for any of those keywords, I will be found. But what we want to have in the middle is the value. Who do you help? How do you help them? Because when someone's first looking at your profile, their first thoughts are what's in it for me. Their thoughts are how can you help me? They're not looking at how amazing you are. They're thinking, how can I help them with the value? So the great thing about the headline is you can change it as often as you want. So I can have helping sales teams connect to their next biggest client and generate profits. And next month I might have marketing teams, I might have business owners, I might have managing directors, because you can tailor the headline to suit the activity. And that's one of the really clever things that you can do on LinkedIn. It goes without saying that you need to have a good photograph. During lockdown, I've had probably a foot taken off my hair, so I do need another photograph. But you want a good head and shoulders photograph. People on LinkedIn are connecting to people. We don't have logos here. and we don't have a blank image. Nobody wants to connect to the invisible man. You want to make it as open and honest as possible. You also need to have a good background. It's a certain size on the background. So if you use something like Canva, canva.com, set up a free Canva account and create your own background, excuse me, with numbers, images, logos. Just really bring this profile to life, especially for the visual people. So this is a snapshot. When somebody looks at you, excuse me, it's a snapshot of who you are and what you can do for them. So that's the very first part.
I've got questions coming in already, Dawn. I don't know if you're happy to take questions
great.
as we go along.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
James is just asking how often should you change the headline content, if at all?
I think it depends on if you've got a certain value you want to keep there all the time, then great, leave it as it is. But usually I would suggest you have a monthly activity plan on LinkedIn. So if you change it once a month, great. So that would be my suggestion.
Okay, and I've got a question from Claire. She's asking about the location. How accurate does that need to be? Because she can't find her town.
Yes, don't worry at all about that. Just go for the nearest city if you can't find a town. So it's not really massively important. You can put all those contact details here if you want to be more specific on contacts.
Brilliant. Okay, I can see somebody else telling me, but I'll let you carry on for the moment, Dawn. I'm sure we'll have more questions coming along.
Yeah, great. So if you imagine your LinkedIn profile, it's like a jigsaw puzzle. You have to complete all the elements in order to be all-star. You are 11 times more visible if you complete all of the sections, and you can add all of those here on the add profile section. So the contact information section is here. What you want to have is everyone has a unique link. And the unique link should just be your first and second name, no spaces and no numbers. Quite often I'll come across somebody and they'll have a long list of numbers on their unique profile. If you want to delete those, you will find it here. Edit your public profile. You can condense all of those numbers down. Just going on to that now. And as I say, or your name, all lowercase, no spaces. There's another great thing you can do from here. So just click edit here and make sure it's that. The interesting thing here is occasionally you may come across somebody that looks at your profile and they may be closed down in anonymous mode. If you want to make your profile anonymous, so you can go and do some research or look at other people's profiles, you can click on that button here to close it all down. I'm very open on LinkedIn, so I never do this. If you do this and you want to do some research, when you come back onto your profile, please make sure you turn it back on. Otherwise, you will literally be invisible. So when you're actually on this page, you want to make sure you are as visible as possible. So you want to set this here to public and make sure everything is ticked on to show. I was talking to somebody recently and he said to me, I don't connect to anyone without a photograph. He said, I think they've got something to hide. And then when we went into his settings, he realised his photograph was actually on, it wasn't even on. And for 6 years, he had literally been invisible. I said, I knew I'd uploaded one, but I had no idea it wasn't showing. So just make sure everything is clicked on. And something else you can do about,
No, a couple of questions. So one for me, actually, is there any benefit of being in private mode at all? Is there any reason why you would want to go into private mode?
No, the only reason you would do that is if you wanted to look at maybe some of your competitors' profiles and you didn't want them to know that you were looking at their profile, you would just be in anonymous mode. But, you know, as I say, I'm very open and yeah, I'm always on visible.
And Simon is asking, hi, Simon, it's good to have you with us. Is the information on LinkedIn here on these settings, is that what Google grabs and puts onto its own platform in the search?
Yes. So as visible as you can make yourself on LinkedIn, that will be of benefit across other social media platforms.
Brilliant. Keep the questions coming in, guys. They're great questions. Good to be testing Dawn's knowledge this time.
It is, thank you. And right at the bottom of this part is you can create a public profile badge. So if you click on create a badge, it will be a small piece of code. And what you can do is you can embed this into your email footers. So you're off LinkedIn now, and you can just say, please follow me and reach out on LinkedIn, and you can have your own unique link here, which is your own personal badge. And also on your website, you can copy this code and have please connect to us here on your website. So you're furthering your outreach off LinkedIn, but you want to draw people to you, and that's how you would create that badge. Okay.
Perfect. All good stuff. All good stuff.
Great. So that there, you'll find it right at the top, the edit public profile. That's your unique link. So make the most of it and make sure, please, that you are as visible as possible. Just coming back to the contacting.
Just asking, just repeat that website. It's www.canva.com, wasn't it? Just for our listeners.
Yeah,
Canva.
canva.com. There's so many graphics, leaflets, there's brochures, but there is in social media, there's a particular LinkedIn background that is the correct size. What I would say is, if you are designing, very simple, what I would say is avoid the left-hand side for any contact details here or logos, because your image will cut it off. So really you want to use 2/3 middle to right.
Brilliant. Thank you, Dawn. That's perfect.
Great. So back onto the contact info section. Again, location is here if you want to add that. So I'm going to show you how to change the websites in a second, but make sure you've got your phone number visible. You want the business email here. If you are employed, I would suggest that you have a personal email within LinkedIn, but you want your business email to the fore here. If you want, I'll show you a little while how you can change your email address. You cannot change it from here. If you're on Twitter, add your Twitter details as well. And you can add your birthday. The good news is you don't have to put the year, but you will get your network will be notified when it's your birthday. So I love it when my birthday comes along. I spend probably a good couple of hours saying thank you for my birthday messages, but it's great to engage with the online community if you want to put your birthday.
Another touch point which helps to, as you say, helps to build that relationship and that trust.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So I have picked up business before by wishing someone happy birthday. I really genuinely have. So if you haven't added your website, you can add 3 websites here in the contact info section. And when someone clicks on the link, they'll be taken off LinkedIn back to your website. So if you haven't added any yet, you'll see add a website here. So you would copy your website, a link of the page you want to send them. And it's really important. The default setting just says company web page. That's not going to inspire me to take action. So what we do here is just click, once you've added the web page, come down to the word other, and you now can give a call to action. People are more likely to respond and click on your web pages if there's a reason. So rather than just saying company website, give me a reason. So I've got my network, looking for more new business, and I offer a complimentary 20-minute sales call. So people are more likely to click here and go to your website if they can see a reason to. So again, you're still thinking from the headline and the contact info section, you're thinking about the value, what's in it for the viewer. So you can send people to 3 different pages on your website and 3 different calls to action. And then we click save. If you want to add your email address and your Twitter, you would just come across to me along the top bar and then come down to settings and privacy. All the background material on LinkedIn behind your profile, you will find here. And it's a great resource if you've got any questions. If you find you've got a duplicate account, LinkedIn like you to only have 1 LinkedIn profile. So if you do find you've got a duplicate, don't confuse people with 2. LinkedIn can either merge them together or you can remove them. So any behind the scenes information, come down here to settings and privacy.
Sounds like if somebody's in that situation, a call to you might be the best starting point, Dawn. But how would somebody know if they have got two accounts? So if there's a sort of what I would call a ghost
Yeah.
account, or they've been hacked?
So if you type your name into the search bar across the top, if there's more than one of your accounts, it will show you. I am lucky because there's only one Dawn Adlam on LinkedIn. It's quite an unusual name. In fact, I think there's only 2 other Adlams on LinkedIn, which is awesome. But if your name's Rob Smith, I think there's about 16,000. So yeah, lots of other profiles, but it will show you if there is more than one of your profile.
And just picking up on that point, because obviously your direct link is LinkedIn/Dawn Adlam, which is great. You've got a unique name, but if you are Rob Smith, how does that look? Would it be Rob Smith in a series of numbers, or do you need to change that to something a bit more unique?
So if you have a middle name and it was John, you can have Rob J Smith. So yeah, just if not, then you can add 00 or 01. You just have a number. So yeah, you just have to play around with that, but it will tell you if that unique link has already been taken.
That's great, thank you.
Fabulous. So we then move on to the about section. So the about section still needs to be about the viewer, not about you. If you sell and share the benefits and the value, you will get far more engagement on LinkedIn rather than saying, so I've been training for 7 years, I'm amazing. No one's really interested in that. The experience section is where you can talk about your journey and all about you. In this bit, we want it to be about the viewer. What we don't want to do is to do war and peace here with thousands and thousands of words. I always think if it will fit on your computer screen, that's about the size of the intro. So you can use this as a guideline. So it's kind of very much, thank you for taking the time to view my profile. My goal, or I'm on LinkedIn to XYZ. Who is it, who and how you help? We're going back to that again. I talk a little bit about LinkedIn. You can cross-sell your services here. So if you offer more than one thing, you can tell people who and how you help them if you've got more than one service. But you'll notice that the word I think is 3. I'm always happy to give advice. I am on LinkedIn. See how I can help. So it's not about me here. I'm engaging with the viewers and I'm telling them how I can help them. I've also got my telephone number here on display. I'm happy to have a complimentary 20 minutes to see how I can help. I don't use the word free because I don't think free has any value. So complimentary. So, you know, give a little bit to receive. So, you know, if you're happy to give a complimentary 20 minutes or half an hour or a fact find, whatever it is, be really clear on that next stage. Because with all marketing, if you don't have a call to action, no one knows what to do next. So if somebody should ask me, Dawn, could you give me a quote, some training? I can't, because I need to speak to them first. So if you look at your sales profile, and this is where you would come in, Stephen, with your expertise. If you're looking at your sales funnel, what are the steps to get to that sale? And I would hazard a guess, in most people, it would need to be a conversation. So that's Absolutely. My starting point, is let's have a conversation and I can see how I can help.
Just to take you back a step, Dawn, the questions are coming in thick and fast. So a question about, you talked about editing contact details. Obviously, LinkedIn is very much geared towards professional networking. So a question here, would you connect your personal Twitter or personal page to your LinkedIn profile, or is it best left blank? I can imagine some people's Twitter profiles may be all about dogs and cats or whatever else they talk about. You know, would you then link that to your LinkedIn profile?
I think personally I wouldn't, because LinkedIn is like a business directory. So I tend to keep it business on here. So it would only be my business Twitter account that I would link.
Brilliant. And I've got a question from somebody which you may be coming onto later. She wants to talk about LinkedIn as a recruitment tool. She's looking to expand her team. We might come on to that later. I know we've got a limited amount of time, but hopefully we can just touch base on that towards the end.
Yes, please remind me when I come on to doing the searches. Yeah, just remind me at that point.
Yeah,
I've
I
just
noted that, Sandeep. We'll come back to you.
Okay, great. So what I'm doing is, for the starting point is the profile, and then we get on to the exciting bit about the activity. Yes. But you know, my advice is don't jump in. If your profile isn't completed, that's the starting point. Complete that, and then you've got the chance to make that good first impression. We only get one chance to make a good first impression. What you can have here, just underneath the about section, you've got my attention on the headline. It's keyworded, it's value driven, and then you've got the about section, which is still about the viewer. If you have any marketing material, you can click the little plus button here and add documents. So for the visual people, they will enjoy looking at your videos, looking at your PowerPoints. They need to be saved if you want to add them here, any documents, as PDF files. So if you've got a brochure, you've got some testimonials, whatever it is, you can just literally add them here, and there they all are for the visual people. So again, think about adding some value. It's not always about self-promotion. Here I am, this is what I do. Think about adding value. You know, do you have a series of one document a month you could share? Tips and hints that you can share. You don't give everything away, clearly, but you know, think about the material that you're happy to share with people.
It's a great opportunity there, Dawn. It's going through my head. It's about building personal credibility. So you, for example, may want to put a link to a webinar or a presentation you've done on creating LinkedIn, profiles and how it can help support your business. We might want to put a taster session to one of our workshops, or a webinar I'm doing, or a promotional reel. So it is about demonstrating the credibility behind the person at the top of the screen, isn't it?
Absolutely. And you can share videos, testimonials, and your events. You can share those on the home page, and they'll hit the feed and then they'll disappear. Whereas if you attach them to your profile, when the event's gone, you can just remove them. But this is more permanent here. These are the permanent documents and events that are on. Perfect. So absolutely, it's about sharing them on the home page, but adding them here as well. And this is your private dashboard. What we're looking for here is all-star. As I said earlier, you're 11 times more visible if you can get to that all-star status. And it will show you as you go along what you need to be doing to complete that.
I think James is one step ahead. He's asking, how do we get to be all-star? And I think that's what you're going through this very lunchtime, isn't it, Dawn?
Yes, absolutely.
All these tips will get there.
Yes, absolutely. Everything I cover will get you to be that. And as you're adding all the profile sections, it will count along and it will tell you, and then you'll get a little flag saying all-star. So congratulations when you do.
So one more question.
So when we come down,
sorry, Simon's just asking, Dawn, is what you're doing part of the free LinkedIn package, or is it part of the Sales Navigator or paid for profile?
No, it's all on the free version. Yeah, all free. Yeah. So please go ahead and do that. Great. So as we go down the profile, we then come to the experience section. If you have two concurrent roles, so I've got the LinkedIn coach and my BNI, you can actually move those around and decide which one you want on the top if you have two roles that you're working on at the moment. And what you want to do is you want to make sure that you have plenty of keywords here in the titles. And then you talk about what you're doing and on your journey. So as you'll see from my profile, I've only ever had 3-4 jobs in my whole career. The fact that I was a nursery nurse, not relevant, but it just shows you that that's my life story, if you like. Then I was in a creative design. So yeah, as you go lower here, it's not as relevant. If there's a company page, you can pull in the logos. There isn't one for creative design, but there is one here for the BizLinks and BNI. So it's really important that you need to set up a company page properly. If you want some brand recognition on your profile, make sure you set up the company page, and you'll see that really easily if you click on work. As you come down here, create a company page. And it will talk you through all the elements, adding a logo, adding your website, adding some content, adding some images. It'll probably only take you 10 minutes. The interesting thing is once you've set up the company page, it does not automatic logo. So all you would do here is click on the pencil, and here in the company name, just retype the company name, and it will recognize the logo and it will recognize that company page, and save. I have this enabled, share with your network. You can turn that off if you want. But again, for great visibility, just keep this on and it will share with your network. So,
quick question from Joe here, Dawn. She's saying, would she, sorry, I don't know, I presume it's a she, Joe, but is asking, should she focus firstly on the company or on her personal page?
okay, I would say the personal page. People buy from people. So I would say 80% of what you share, like, comment is down as you as an individual. And then you have the company page where you can share updates from. But people can't connect to your company page like they can a personal profile. So you want to build up your network with your personal profile, and then your company page is more for brand recognition. What I would suggest is your suppliers, your customers, your friends, follow all of their company pages and you will start to see what they're talking about. So really important that you have a company page.
Brilliant. So I keep interrupting you with the questions, Dawn, but
okay, last couple of things on the profile. Yeah, adding value, no problem. Is there a question, another question right now?
No. So I was just thanking you for answering them. We keep interrupting you, but carry on.
Great. That's fine. Yeah. No, please do. I know we've only got a certain amount of time, so happily answer questions. So as we come down to the bottom of the profile, you do need to add an education in order to be all-star. Now, clearly it's a long time since I've been at school, so I've literally put the basics in, unless you're just leaving school and college and it's relevant to you on your journey. So just make sure you've added an education. If you've got any licenses or certifications, clearly CPD here, add those. Any volunteering that you do, you're building up that jigsaw puzzle as a person and a business. So last two things on the profile, skills and endorsements. So what you're looking for here are 10 to 15 keywords, good keywords that talk about your business. And what you can see here is over time, other people have endorsed me. This is the proof that you're good at what you do. I can't endorse myself. I can only endorse, although this shows you 99 plus, 99 plus, 99 plus. That's what you're looking for. So you can have up to 50 keywords. These are all my other keywords here. So just literally you would click add a new skill. LinkedIn will make some suggestions for you, but you can type in whatever key skill you want in there and add them. And what you have here is the top 3 are on display. All the rest will follow. So you want your best 3 here. In order to do that, when we click edit, you have to pin the top 3. So if I didn't want business networking, I could unpin that and that will come back down. I might go for social media marketing. On to pin that. So once you've added them all, just pin the top 3. If you have any words that you don't do, and I'll be honest with you, I always say don't have any words relating to business development. Most of us will be responsible for sales or marketing. The first word that I ask when people see business development, the first word people come back to me and say, sales. I'm going to be sold to. So you will not find the words business development anywhere in my profile, even though that's what I do. I am responsible for business development. I just choose not to have that visible as keywords. So if you have words that you don't do, just click on the dustbin and it will remove it. And when you're happy, click save. I do know somebody that spent 2 hours putting 50 words into here. You don't have to. 10 to 15 good keywords is more relevant.
And that person who put 50 words in, have they seen a significant advantage or difference to their profile? Is it?
They actually did. They messaged me and said the very next person that they connected to looked at all of those words and saw he could help them with everything they needed. So it was a valuable exercise for him. And he was a financial advisor, so he'd got so many keywords there. But I think you could probably get your message over in, 10 to 15 good keywords. And people can go onto your profile and just click endorse. It's a great activity to do. So what I would suggest as part of your weekly activity is going to endorse other people that you know, like and trust. I wouldn't endorse people that I didn't know, but over time, the 99 plus 99 plus builds up and it adds massively to your credibility.
Mm-hmm.
And the final part in the jigsaw is the recommendation section. Again, this is the proof that you're good. This is the credibility here. So you can see here that I've received 236 recommendations. I genuinely have picked up clients when they've looked at my recommendations. The 236 people can't be wrong. It's taken me a long time to build this up. So I would suggest start with 10 good recommendations. And it's really easy to do, is just to click ask for a recommendation. They come in date order. So everybody can look at them all. You can look down there. Anybody can look at them all, but the top 2 are always on display in date order. What you'll see is you'll tend to find a lot of people that I've done training with will have this little triangle in their headline to break up the sentences. If you do use a triangle or an icon, personally, I'm not a fan of images, i.e. crowns and stars. That's just not my personal profile. But if you want to add that little icon, what you have to be really careful of is making sure that arrow is not touching the word. There has to be a gap either side of the arrow or the word will be illegible. And again, I was talking to somebody, a signage company, and he got a list of all the words relating to signage, and he got a little arrow and it was touching every word. No one had looked at his profile for years. They couldn't find him. He wasn't visible with keywords. So if you do use a little arrow, make sure it's not touching a word. So recommendations, people, you do need to be first line connections. So make sure that you are first line connection. Literally click ask for a recommendation, or you can go onto someone else's profile. If I use Michelle as an example, I can click on Michelle's profile and there's a lovely little button here. And most people have never heard of it. You click more and you can request a recommendation. You can recommend them. You can remove them from your network. They don't get a notification. Report, unfollow. So you do all of these things here on this little more button that you probably never knew existed. I love that little button. So, and then if you want to endorse other people.
So if you're to recommend somebody, is that the same as endorsing somebody else, or is that a separate, is that just a tick box?
Yeah. This is so if I want to endorse somebody, this is the little tick box exercise. I've already endorsed Michelle for some of these things here, but if I wanted to endorse, say, for a call handling, I click on, or just, no one sees that, just submit. So this is how you do the quick endorsements rather than the more serious recommendation. And what happens is if I recommend Michelle, it will go to her before she puts it onto her profile. She'll probably, if she's doing a good job, spell check. You don't want to have spelling mistakes in that. And then you will just click accept and it will automatically position itself on your profile.
Another question from James, if that's all right, Dawn, very briefly. He's talking about his Google reviews and recommendations. Can they be pulled through into LinkedIn in any way? Or does he have to go back to those people and ask them again?
Yes, you go back to the people because it's person to person. The only other way you can do that is if you copy and save them onto a document, PowerPoint or a Word document, and save them as a PDF and call them testimonials. And then you can literally add them here
in that featured section you mentioned.
But from a credibility, I would just take the time line and give and receive. I have given 180. It would look really odd if you got lots of recommendations and hadn't given any. That not really credible on that. So yeah, absolutely make sure you give as well as receive.
Yes.
So in a nutshell, that's a whistle-stop tour of the profile. That would be my starting point, is to work through like a jigsaw puzzle and complete all of those. They're all here on the add profile section. Once that's done, I think I've got 10 minutes left for the exciting part of LinkedIn. So if I wanted to share something from my company page, I go on to me, I come down to the company page I want to share from. I'll use BNI as an example here.
I don't know if we've lost you there, Dawn, for a moment, or just a slow connection, I think, maybe. Hopefully Dawn's still there.
And literally you start to post in the normal way. Yeah, can you hear me?
There we go. Can you hear us still, Dawn?
Yeah, back on. Yeah, I think I'm back on. Yeah. So
perfect.
Yeah, don't know what happened there, but I'm back on. So if you want to share a post from the company page, your brand will start to get visible. What I would suggest is add a photograph, add a video link, add a document, or do a poll. Don't just put text with no visible image attached, because that's what will get attention. So when you're sharing from the company page, that's really easy to do. We have an event. So we were talking about events, Stephen. If you want to set up an event, so you can see we've got a networking day. You literally set up an event, and what you can do is you can invite connections to join you, or you can just share out. So if I share in a post, I can send it to a message, or I can just send that out. Choose 3 great hashtags. So let's do BNI Online. So you can share this out many times, and let's do event and post. So from your company page, if you set up an event, you can invite connections and just share it out. And literally it's there to create an event. If you want to share something as you, Stephen Charman, you would click on the home page. So the home page, you will do exactly the same here. You can share a post, add a photo, add a video, set it as an event. Write an article is more about a serious document that attaches itself to your profile. So you would only use 3 here. And this on the home page is where you are engaging with the online community. If you like Facebook, this is the Facebook part of LinkedIn. And this is where you can, and there's mine, just hit the feed there. And what you can do is you can like something, you can share it. And if you've shared it here, you can share it with anyone. Back on the home page, share it just with your connections, directly into a group, or you can tweet it out at the same time. So that now has hit my Twitter feed as well. So just joining the dots up a little bit here. So this goes on day in, day out, hour by hour, minute by minute. And you can like, comment and share other people's material as well as your own. So if you want, let's like that. If I wanted to recognize somebody on this, I would say at Chris. This is Chris Tufton. Just put the at, and then you can highlight somebody in bold, and they will get a little flag that you've recommended them. So this is where you can actually engage with the online community, not always about self-promotion.
Quick question from Joe, just going back to your hashtags, Dawn.
Yeah.
How many hashtags on an article or on a post would you recommend? And is it better to tag people or put hashtags in?
I do a mix of both. So I would choose 3 hashtags that you want to be known for continually. Stick to those 3 and maybe add another 2 depending on what you're sharing. But I think recommending and adding other people in, you can see how useful that is. But I've seen some where there's been like 20 different hashtags. That will widen your outreach, but it can also look a little clunky. So yeah, I always say 3 plus 2 or 3 others maximum.
Yes, I as well have seen articles where there's been more hashtags than text in the article.
Absolutely. So, you know, as you can see, if you recommend somebody, if you like it, it will come back up to the feed, but it's also great to just comment as well. So some people are nervous about putting material out there. I would get used to liking, commenting and sharing others and then move on to your own, because not everybody wants to keep sharing material, and I get that. There are some people that do not spend any time on the homepage. They prefer just to reach out to new connections. So you get a choice whether you want to accept new connections or not. So if I look at my network, so that's the homepage. Be as active as you want. 10 minutes a day on that homepage will get you some really great visibility. For me, it's consistency. It's not about going on LinkedIn once and doing things. It's about that regular activity day in, day out. As we know, when it comes to sales, there are a lot of touch points.
You said that. Yeah, you said that before, Dawn. You know, it's about 10 minutes, 15 minutes a day, every single day, building up that credibility and having the discipline to do it, I think is so important, isn't it?
Absolutely. So, any more questions? I've got my last little piece in a moment.
Yeah, well, there's 2 questions which I think you're going to cover. We go back to the recruitment one in a moment, I think, for Sunday. But Simon's just asking about requests. I think you're just going to go on to, you know, connection requests. He's saying he gets inundated. Yes. Is there any way of filtering out people who aren't local? He's getting lots of requests from the States and other areas.
Okay, I'd say well done. If you're getting lots of people being drawn to you, that's great. So what I do is daily, I'll just go on. So I haven't got any pending invitations at the moment. Somebody's asking me to follow their company page, which is great. So I will follow that or not. It's up to me. So what I suggest you do, if you do this regularly, you'll have the pending invitations and then just have a look. Are they somebody that you can work with? If you can't work with people internationally in other companies, just click ignore. They don't get a notification that you ignored them. So don't worry about that. But this is, you really need to go through them person by person and keep on top of them. So there isn't any way you can filter them. You've just got to go through them. And if you've got a real long list of people, I think there are opportunities in there. You've just got to reach out to them.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. So my final part that I want to share with you today, I think I've got 5 minutes, is using the advanced search. And as we said, it is just about, on my profile is not the premium versions. This is all on the free version of LinkedIn. So my question is, who do you want to reach out to? Who would be a good connection for you? So the inbound, they'll come in. If you're active, you'll get people coming to you and you decide whether you want to connect. The whole point of LinkedIn, though, is using it as a business directory, is to reach out to other people. So if I say, for example, you might be a financial advisor and you might say, well, actually, strategic partners would be, say, a mortgage advisor. So let me show you how to reach out and connect to a mortgage advisor. We use the search at the bottom. If you're searching for a name, Stephen Charman, then you'll just type their name in. I'm looking for a mortgage advisor. So I put down here, make sure I spell it correctly, mortgage, let's say broker. So it's a double word, mortgage and broker. I don't put it in plural, so I'm not looking for mortgage brokers. I'm just looking for a mortgage broker, and I have to put a location. If I don't put a location, it will bring back tens of thousands of results. And the only downside of the free version of LinkedIn is you can only have so many searches a month. So by keeping it a double word in speech marks and a location, I'm condensing the searches down. So let's have a look.
How many searches can you have a month, Dawn?
It's not on how many you have, it's Stephen, it's on the results that you get. So if you do lots of small searches, you can do lots of them. So if I look here, and this is where it's a benefit to have unlimited searches on the premium. But if you keep it tight with the description and the location, you'll be fine. You'll be absolutely fine. All it will do on the first of the month, it will reset again. So there are other ways, using groups and other ways to search for people if you start to run out of searches. So you can see here, there's 486 mortgage advisors in Birmingham. So if I'm an IFA, I'll click connect, always add a note. Hi Gurdip, I think that was the name of the person. I'm not selling anything, and there's the absolute bit on LinkedIn is please do not sell. People will not buy if you sell. All I'm asking is to connect. Are you open to connect? Please. Kind regards, Dawn. So the point is I'll send that connection request and then I'll go down to the next person and have a look at their profile. Do I think I can work with them? I'm looking to build strategic alliances. So literally, I click connect. When they accept my connection, that's when you have to move them off LinkedIn. Thank you for connecting. I'm looking to build a partnership with a mortgage advisor. Are you open for a 10-minute call? Because if you just click connect with no interaction, with no conversation, then you're seriously going to be wasting your time. And breathe. That's my 45 minutes. So again, recruitment. If I suggest to people, if people are looking for another job, put keywords in the headline, my next opportunity or available, and recruiters can actually search for those keywords there, or they can search for the type of person that you're looking for.
Brilliant. Sandeep, I think, was looking to recruit somebody for her own business and was asking whether LinkedIn would be a good place to start for that.
Absolutely. And what you can do on the homepage is you can create a post for free and advertise your job. Just add an image, we are hiring or we're looking for, so you can absolutely advertise that job on the homepage.
And the call to action could be apply here and have a link to your website, etc., etc. So a really simple way of getting that ball rolling, Sandeep, is to create that article, or to create, not an article, is it? It's a
post. Yeah. So come onto the homepage, literally start a post. Yeah, just attach your image with whatever your call to action is and all the details. That's probably the easiest way to get started.
That's really helpful, Dawn. You've gone through so much. You sort of whistle-stop tour. And, you know, you and I have done this webinar a number of times over the last 18 months. And every time we do it, I'm always writing notes for myself of things I must go back and check or update. And I think that's, I go back to my point earlier on, you know, the blinding flash of the obvious. There are things that we know we've heard before. And I think it's an important reminder for all of us to make sure we go back and just, you know, revisit our LinkedIn page. We may well be using LinkedIn every day. If you've got the discipline and you are doing that, fantastic. But when did you last go back and just check your contact details, your call to action, or your featured articles? It's those sort of things. And I guess, Dawn, how often should they be refreshed is another question. You know, how often should we be putting new articles or changing it round?
Yeah, I think if you use LinkedIn properly, you can set out your strategy week by week, because it can sound rather daunting, a bit like eating an elephant, just bite-sized pieces. So I have 1 hour a week, which is solely devoted to LinkedIn activity, arranging calls, doing my actions, and then I have 10 minutes a day. So it's not going to take over my whole life, but regularly updating, adding, commenting, sharing, just being part of the online community and just keeping it fresh. So as soon as you plan out when you're going to write an article, when you're going to share a post, just plan it all out in a very simple calendar and you'll find that you should be able to keep to it.
Have a plan, and as we would say here at Action Coach, test and measure, see what works for you in your business. What do you get best reactions for? What's the kind of content that's really engaging other people to talk to you and have that conversation? And I think, you know, as you were saying earlier on, Dawn, you know, put a poll in there or ask a question, tag a few key people, get the conversation started as you put the post on. James is just asking a question, Dawn. We haven't really had time to cover it. I know we're short of time now, but in terms of writing articles, he's asking what's the optimum length for an article? He's not sure about the
Yes. So again, I've seen articles and there's just literally been pages and I've lost the will to keep reading. So you want it to be short and snappy in my book, your key points across, a nice intro, what it's about, and also then you've got your call to action at the end of it. So don't always assume if you do detail, other people are going to want to do detail as well. So try and mix them up. Maybe one detailed one as opposed to one shorter one. You can attach videos there. You can hyperlink back to websites. So just try and make them as interactive as possible rather than trawling through pages and pages.
Indeed. So many useful tips and bits of advice. And what I'm going to do, Dawn, is just put your contact details onto the screen again. You know, if you've enjoyed this Lunch and Learn webinar, which I'm sure you have, we've had plenty of great questions. So great engagement. Thank you, everyone, for your questions this lunchtime. If you've got any more questions and want to have that contact, that 20-minute call with Dawn, you know, her contact details are on the screen here. Been known and been working with Dawn now for a number of years. We'd absolutely recommend her as a starting point to get your LinkedIn career or your LinkedIn profile up and running. You know, if you're not sure where to start and how to, you know, what to do first. But hopefully this Lunch and Learn has given you some really good basic tips on how to promote your business and how to create some really valuable connections, because that's what it's all about, isn't it, Dawn? It's about getting to know, like, and trust, and, you know, build that credibility in the online world.
Absolutely. And it doesn't happen overnight. You know, we're still connecting people to people. That's where we started. But if you've got an engaging profile, you're active, you actually genuinely are interested in meeting people virtually, then, you know, LinkedIn is the tool for you.
And taking the time, I think I've learned over the years, Dawn, is to take the time to have quality connections and not just have the numbers on the screen. You know, we can all connect with, you know, as many people out there, but it's what you do with those connections, how you follow them up, and the conversation, make use of that opportunity. As LinkedIn say, you know, they are connecting the opportunities for each one of us, and we need to make most of that every day.
Absolutely. And, you know, occasionally I'll come across somebody that might say, I've got 15,000 connections. So that means your network is this wide, but it's not deep. And that's what you want, is you want to engage with everyone that wants to connect to you. You get that choice. But yeah, don't just connect to thousands of people with no interaction. I would just say that's just a waste of their time and yours.
Absolutely. And I'm reminded, Dawn, of Jim Rohn, a great business coach. I know we've talked about him before. He talks about discipline being the bridge between goals and accomplishment. We need to have the discipline to actually, you know, make sure we spend that time on LinkedIn or any social media platform, you know, every single day, 10-15 minutes a day. You know, do it when you get up in the morning or when you're having your breakfast. You know, scroll through your LinkedIn profile, perhaps when you're having your lunch, not when you're listening to us, of course, but you know, make sure you've got that time carved into your diary every day or every other day to go on LinkedIn or another social media platforms and just, you know, build that credibility, build that engagement, you know, share, talk, tell people what your journey, what you're doing in your business, and engage people with you, because that's how you will generate more business for yourself, more opportunity. So it's you know, it's all about discipline, carving that time into your diary. So we've got your contact details on the screen, Dawn. LinkedIn is one of only a number of marketing strategies you could be using in your business right now. If you want to learn more about LinkedIn, please do contact Dawn. If you're thinking about, you know, well, where do I start with my marketing more generally? What do I need to do to market my business? How can I increase sales? What else do I need to do in my business to systemize it, to get it working how it should be? I would love also to have a conversation with you. Dawn calls them complimentary sales calls. We call them discovery calls. We've all got our phrase for them. We'd love to have that complimentary chat with you just to find out how we can work together, what opportunities there are to support each other to grow your business, because we're absolutely determined here at Action Coach in Birmingham to help as many businesses, as I've used the phrase once this lunchtime already, but not just survive, but to thrive long into the future, and to make sure we're planning for change and expecting whatever comes out of 2021 and beyond. We've got the systems in place and we've got the knowledge in place to be able to manage that and grow our business, and that's what we're all here for. Dawn, we haven't talked much, but we ought to really just also use this as an opportunity very briefly to talk about the event on Saturday, BNI networking event. You had it briefly on your screen there on Monday.
Yes, it's on,
is it Monday? 22nd.
Monday 22nd.
That's right, yes.
Yeah, all welcome. We've got 3 sessions, 9 o'clock, 11:30 and 2:30. Lots of networking tips and a great chance to network. Yeah, it's going to be a fabulous day. So all welcome. You'll see on that post, you'll see the Zoom link. No booking required. Just come along and do some amazing network, meet some new people. And afterwards, connect to them on LinkedIn.
Absolutely. Yeah. I was just about to say the same, Dawn. If you want to find out more about that, our names are on the screen. Please do. If you do nothing else on today's Lunch and Learn, please look it up on LinkedIn, connect with us. I'm going to go away shortly and share that same post, Dawn, so it's on my profile as well. And please do, do connect with us if you're interested in coming and joining us for this network. We're both members of BNI and other networking groups, and it is a great way just to grow your business. It's great to have that as one of your marketing strategies. So please do get in touch. Both of us are proud BNI members, and it's worked for our businesses to help us get through this pandemic. But for now, Dawn, thank you so much for joining us. Sure. We've used up almost the hour, which is great. I was saying at the beginning, we're doing these things slightly differently in 2021. So we've got on Mondays, we've got educational Lunch and Learn webinars, colleagues like Dawn helping us to grow and develop our business. On Wednesdays, we're talking to business owners about their journey and what 2020 has been like for them. And we've got a familiar face joining us this Wednesday, Angela Podmore from Kinetic PR. She's talked to us a bit about, a lot about PR and how we can use great PR to grow our business. But this time on Wednesday, we're going to be talking to Angela about her own business and how she's had to pivot her business in 2020 to make sure it keeps on that same trajectory of growth. And, looking forward to the great things she's got to share with us on Wednesday, all about her business journey. So we're looking forward to Angela on Wednesday from Kinetic PR. But for now, I just want to say thank you again for joining us this Lunch and Learn, whether you're on LinkedIn, whether you're on Facebook, whether you're on Zoom. It's been great having you with us, and we look forward to hearing from you and being with you on Wednesday. And again, once again, my huge thanks to Dawn for spending her lunch with us this Monday. Thank you, Dawn. Take care, stay well, stay safe.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.